Hello?
Yo, Vic.
Yo, what's good, bro? Feel bad?
My guy, yo, my bad, yo. It's been a little bit of a busy morning, but everything is cool, man. How you making out?
Hey, it's cool, it's cool. I got off the phone with Bank of America, and I don't know. They some jokers. They some
Right.
jokers.
All right. So what are these what are these jokers talking about, yo?
So essentially, after talking with them, they created a proposal for me for a property. The purchase price at 200K, and again,
Mm-hmm.
right? Me putting down 15%. So interest rate 6.625, APR 6.998. Now, looking at everything with the 15% down, the other fees, and closing costs, and then the everything, the cash to close would be 43.4K. So I'm like, y'all not even helping me out.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I'm just listening. I got a lot to say, but I want to let you finish, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, now the cool thing is the bull that I was talking to, I'm assuming he was black. His name was Daryl. So
Okay.
say his name, but
I would assume the same thing, yeah.
so I don't think he played for the Brooklyn Nets. But anyways, so that's everything with BOA. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts before I continue with like other things I was looking at.
Yeah, no worries, man. Well, first and foremost, man, you made me smile this morning when I got your text and voice messages because I'm like, all right, my man is about it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I'll spend time with folks, and you give them all this knowledge, and they don't really act on it, and they don't follow through. So I'm like, all right, Vic gonna get him a house, yo. So that's what's up. Yeah, that whole 15%, scratch that. You're not gonna do that. We're not. You shouldn't have to do that. I know when on your voice notes you were talking about conventional, but the truth is, conventional. I know it's 3% down. But I wouldn't necessarily do conventional. You know what I'm saying? I think if you want to get approved for conventional, you can. That's the good thing about your position as far as your income that you make and your good credit. You can get any kind of loan, but you want to get the loan that's best for you, right? And you really want to keep those out of pocket costs to a minimum. So I would say, there's nothing wrong with the FHA. I know you were talking about PMI, right? But
Yeah.
PMI is required on pretty much any loan where you don't have the 20%,
Right.
equity in the property. So even if you go conventional, you're still going to have to pay PMI, right? Your PMI is just going to possibly um, be done quicker because you put 15% down. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, what happens with PMI too is like, let's say you buy a property, your property's for 100,000. Until you pay up to 80,000, you know what I'm saying? You need to have that 20% equity. A lot of times, what also happens is that um, what also happens is properties appreciate, right? So let's say you
Mm.
bought that house for 100,000, you had a loan for 100,000, and then in a couple years maybe the house goes to like 130. 20% equity is 26 grand. 26,000 off the 130, so you'd have 104,000. As long as your loan was under 104,000, your PMI would drop off. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So PMI is one of those things I think people just kind of have to deal with. If you get on one of these programs that can help you with that, that's great, but I wouldn't let that kind of stop you. You know what I'm saying? And I think FHA, you should be able to get a multi-unit with a FHA. That's when he's saying put 15% down, I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely not do
Well,
that.
what?
Yeah, like what I'm saying, that's investor
My
talk.
last question would be, you know, BOA just. I think like the BOA process was definitely like a learning lesson. Now, like I'm obviously not trying to go to Chase or these bigger banks. Obviously, my question is, when I reach out to PHFA and I try to assess like who's the best option for me, do they all have to pull my credit to assess like a pre-approval on what they're able to do for me, or is there a way around that?
Great question, and I think a lot of people are concerned about that. So what happens is when you get a credit hit for something like a mortgage, there is like a 30-day window, and I'm not sure if it's exactly 30 days, but it's a good window that you're allowed to shop for mortgages, right? So basically, anybody who hits your credit now, it's not going to affect your credit anymore. Like, yeah, so you're good. So, it's nice to go ahead and shop around. You can shop around with as many mortgage lenders as you want, and it's not going to affect your credit anymore.
Well, yo, but for last, like, again, I'm very appreciative of your time. I know you're shaking and baking, and you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate this because, I consider myself to be very diligent. I can just only imagine if someone is, this is like a side tangent, but as I was going through this process, I was like, man, my kids need to go to college so they can write information, they can know what the heck is, because it's like, see, even like the amount of information I had to even process to like it's just certain things are confusing, and then there's stipulations, and then you have this, and then you have that, and but nonetheless, though, right? Like, regardless of how I was able to deduce and get to where I am, like, you just again made this whole process much simpler because, like you said, right, there's all of these Pandora boxes, and these detours that one can take, but you just guided me in the right direction. I'm highly appreciative.
Yeah, man, Vic, my pleasure, bro. My pleasure. And yeah, I think a lot of it can be overwhelming for some people, you know what I'm saying? But the greatest thing about it was like, just even from the time I remember a couple weeks back, or maybe it was a month, or, definitely not 2 months back, we had our ISI call, and people were asking about, hey, what can Shane led that call, and he was like, he wants to each person to go around and say what they could help with and what they need help with. And I remember you saying, you want to learn more about the whole home buying process. And I'm just like, from that point to today, look at how much more knowledgeable you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you did the time, and like you put the work in. So now you can speak educated about it, and as you start learning more and more like you are, the hesitation gets the apprehension gets reduced, right? Because now you're understanding and you're learning what is what. So now, man, proud of you, man, bro. I'm always here, man. We're gonna get you this crib, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's I say, where we at? We're in January. I say, by April you should definitely be in a new crib, yo. So
amen. We gonna get it for sure.
My God.
Hey, thank you once again. If I have any other questions, I'm gonna hit you. But again, very, very appreciative of everything that you've done.
No worries, Vic. All right, sounds good, man. Good talking to you. Hit me if you need me. All right.
All right, take care.
Peace.